So I actually have a horrible confession to make. When I said I'm rereading The Hunger Games, that was true. I reread the first book. Um, I have never actually read the second or third or the recent book. I'm trying to get to all of them before the recent book comes out, but I stopped reading the series not because I didn't love it, but because in high school at the time, my mom got really into these books too, and she said she didn't like Catching Fire because it got insanely political. And during that time, I was drinking the Kool-Aid that she was giving me on conservatism and republicanism. So of course I'm like, ooh, politics, gross. How could I ever like that? It's not like it's a fucking dystopian novel. So read Catching Fire with me for the first time. The tonal shift in this book from the first book is so apparent right away. In the first book, it felt like Katniss was still kind of like questioning how she felt about the games. It was obviously something very bad, but she didn't have outright disdain even in her inner monologue. But then here, literally on the second page, is the Capitol's way of keeping the horror fresh and immediate. We're forced to celebrate it, to look down into the faces of families whose children I have killed. It is such a hard and immediate stance against the Capitol right away from book 1 to 2, and I find that powerful, impactful. I don't know, I'm very excited to see where this goes. Another thing to note is that in book 1, Katniss doesn't really address her mom's depression, at least not in those words. And then at the beginning of book 2, she does rightfully name it as depression from her husband, Katniss's father, passing away. Using that language in book 2 is significant and probably important. I think that shows a maturity within maybe not the writer, but Katniss herself as she goes from book 1 pre-games through the games, post games into a completely new and changed person. She understands what that is like now. Maybe differently, but she can actually name depression and understand how debilitating it actually was for their mom. Even if the mom like did have an obligation to her kids and did fail them, she can at least hold a little space for empathy now. I shouldn't be surprised that they killed the District 11 man that whistled, but oh my fucking god. Horrible, but like, why is that just what our government would do right now? I can see why Katniss doesn't want anything to do with Gale professing his love for her because, bitch, there are more important things going on. And maybe because they're men and I don't give a fuck, but like, these men fighting over her have lost the fucking plot. I don't care. I do kind of like PETA though. Also, why the fuck was that broadcasted to the mayor's like TV office? Wouldn't that just incite more uprising if there's communication between the districts? You would think that the capital, President Snow, whatever, would not want any communication between districts, especially when it's something to do with unsettlement and uprising, whatever. Because then who's to say if the mayor of District 12 or whoever else is watching it gets the idea of like, oh, maybe we should also do that. You would think they would want to stop that communication from being spread. Katniss is like so upset with the idea that Mage, and Gale would be together, and I'm here like that's actually really cute. I could see that. And then Katniss could just be with PETA. So I don't know. I don't have a jealous bone in my body, and she doesn't even know which one she likes. I don't like the love triangle, and I want it to go away. If this turns into a Gale romance, this is going to significantly impact my liking of this series. I am not here for it. If my friend went to the games and fell in love with someone and got married, I would be happy for them. Crazy, I know. Fucking straight people, I swear.